Boy, oh boy, you wouldn't know it by looking up in the sky right now, but it's supposed to almost be 90 and sunny again today. The heat is going to just carry over into into September, which it usually does. I feel kind of shitty, if I'm going to be honest. I started adventuring downtown Portland with my girlfriend for the first time about a year and a half ago, and excuse me, I just woke up and I'm just kind of just woke up. And when we adventured the first time, we started in the Chinatown area and saw all these cool buildings and stuff, but we kind of evaded the Old Town area, which would have been like here. We kind of went here and then down, and I didn't really know downtown that well. I know it a lot better now, and so I didn't really know where everything was, what was classified as Old Town. And when we came back the next time, we decided, okay, we came in from the north last time, it's coming from the south this time. Children running amok. So we decided, let's come in from the south this time. We get off the bus, and my eyes just about fell out of my head. I came in direct eyesight contact, and it kind of stands alone because there's a part. If you're looking at it from the south, there's like a parking lot and then the building. So there's just kind of this open. It's open, so you can just see it there. And that was the first time I saw the United Workers Temple building, which was built in the late 1800s and is, as I speak, being slowly torn down. So they could build a nice hotel there, because they didn't just build another hotel a couple months ago across the frickin' street. Oh wait, they did. There's few buildings in downtown Portland, and there's a lot of them, that I love and revere and am just awestruck by. It's almost intimidating to look at than the Temple building. And I may try to see if I can see it tomorrow. I'm kind of busy. The problem is that I've had a few days off from work, but I've just been so busy doing other stuff. And then, of course, the eclipse took my whole entire Monday. And I may honestly have to wait till Friday before work before I can sneak into downtown and maybe shoot a little video on the scene. And by then, who knows how much of the building's even going to still be there. I saw in the video, because it's such a huge building, they literally had to close some of the streets around it. They have the big plastic-covered fencing around it. By the time I get there, it may be nothing but the bottom floor with just the fencing and shit. So I'm going to try on Friday to go out to see it. No promises, no promises in life, but I really wanted to be there when this started to shoot kind of a chronology of the thing as it slowly, because it's such a huge building, and I've returned to the spot so many times just to take video and film photographs of it, and I have a lot of it, so at least, you know, I've got a record of what the place was since 2017 on, or, you know, end of 2017 on. Nobody's going to know, you know, what this was, that this building was here. They're just going to be an ugly-ass hotel in its place. And literally, on that city block, diagonal to the other side, is where the Lotus is, which is an old bar. Used to be a hotel before. You can kind of tell it's one of those little brick-looking old hotel buildings. Another iconic spot. They're going to rip that down too. I kept wanting to get into contact with the people that were in charge of the Temple building to see if I could get in there and shoot some interior footage. I saw that some people have taken pictures and stuff inside of it recently, so I figured, you know, as long as, you know, you're not going there to raise hell, and as long as you're legit, they'll probably let you go in. And sadly, in terms of the Temple, which I really wanted to get into, that time has passed. I don't know how close, they got to be close to tearing down the Lotus, but I can still try to see if maybe I can get in there before they do. So I want to start getting into a lot of these buildings. And when I say getting into, I mean like asking permission first. I want to get into the Harlow block before they finish renovating it. I want to get into the Lotus. I'd even like to get onto the platform for the train that has been shut down for a really long time, that goes between the Japanese gardens and the Rose Gardens and then the zoo. Because it looks really abandoned. Even though I know it's not, it would still be kind of a cool video to shoot. Again, I'm still waking up. A lot of locations are evading me, but there's a lot of places that are old and rustic, closed down. I'd love to be able to get into the Portland Firehouse. I think it's number 2, which is the one, if you ever take the Green Line into downtown Portland, you pass that old beat-up brick building, that's what it is. Right when you start to turn and then head towards Union Station, there's that brick building right there that looks abandoned. That's the firehouse. Caught fire. I guess the backside of the building caught fire a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. That's got everyone's hackles up, because there's been lots of instances where a really cool historical place in the Portland area will suddenly catch fire out of nowhere. And then right afterwards they're like, well, it's not safe anymore, we're just going to tear it down and build something new there. And with how rampant, deconstruction and demolition is going in Portland, like every time this happens, people get their freaking hackles up. Here comes another child. Get away from me. And then, the temple goes right in with that. The people who were, I guess, kind of in charge of this project, they wanted to figure out, they wanted to put whatever businesses they're going to put in the new building, because there's going to be a hotel and an office building on that block. And the company that's controlling it is actually local, which is rare. Usually it's some company, it's in Florida, New York, wherever. So they don't give a shit about what they're doing to Portland, because they don't have to live here in the aftermath. But this group was actually local, and I was, reading about it, and the guy was saying, like, oh, we were really trying to do all these ways to just maintain the building, and, just do it with the temple building. But alas, this happened, and it didn't quite work. And while I want to kind of revere that, and I hope they're being honest, who knows, at the same time, it's like, if you really wanted to put some money into that building and restructure it a little bit and keep it sound, and then keep that awesome building and put your businesses in, you could have done it. And don't tell me it was going to cost more than building a brand new frickin' building after you invested who knows how much money into tearing down the temple. This is a big undertaking right now, because the temple is so frickin' huge and beautiful, or I guess was. Now, the top chunk of it's just been ripped off, so it looks like it's been firebombed by somebody. So, I was looking up info, and it's, again, I guess at this point, because it's going to be soon, the oldest still existing, temple-type building for, the United Workmen. There's still lots of old buildings attributed to that group around the area, Masonic lodges, things like that, but this Workmen's Temple, that was the oldest of the bunch, and now it's going down. People fought so hard. I think probably of all the buildings around that they're trying to demolish, this is the one that people fought the hardest to keep from going down, and yet right now it's being ripped down. If you can see it, I'm throughout this video, I'm going to include all the pictures and video that I've taken of the place, so you can actually see it and see how just beautiful, and in some cases, it's a Richardsonian type construct, but it's even with its colored tinted little windows it has, and there's almost like a church-like feel in certain parts. And then you look at the back, and it's just brick with a fire escape and graffiti, and it looks like a beat-up old, apartment you'd find in, Queens, New York or something. At least, I'm channeling Coming to America when I say that. Like the Coming to America era location in Queens, if you look at the backside. And, it's got the, really, bro? And then, on the opposite, the south side, it's got the, old window frames that have been bricked in. And there's nothing about this place that isn't frickin' amazing. And from what else I also read, the particular individual that, outlined and did the blueprints to make that building, he was a guy that was also in charge of doing the... I'm sorry, my architectural mind is completely out the window. I'm forgetting all this terminology. The person who, you know, lays out how the building is going to look. I can't remember it right now for the life of me. But the guy that did it for the temple, he also did it for the second state capitol building, which I believe burnt down. And the building that currently stands is Oregon's third Capitol building. And if you could see pictures of the second Capitol building, I mean, not to knock the temple as it's slowly going through its demise, but the building we have right now is an eyesore next to the second Capitol building we had. It was just so rustic, so gorgeous, and just so everything that a Capitol building should be. So this guy was an incredibly talented individual. And I don't know, I just want to sit down and talk about it for a second since I can't go see it today and I really want to. And I want to see it. I want to, you know, it's like I don't have any children, I just have my historical places. And it's like my relatives in the hospital and they're in their final days and you want to go see them to have your last moments with them before they're gone. It's not that emotional, it's not that quite that kind of an emotional investment, but it's just kind of a metaphor for a similar thing where it's like, from the moment I saw this building, I was absolutely fucking in love with it. And now I'm having to watch it go through its final days before it's just gone forever. So, it sucks. Portland kind of sucks right now. People in power don't give a shit. They just keep letting these developers come in and do whatever the hell they want with whatever the hell they want. They make building, you know, they rip up cheap, affordable properties, make them impossible to afford, put more people on the street, put more people crammed into apartments together because they can't live anywhere else. I mean, it's a joke. It's a real joke. And the fact that the friggin' temple, this temple building couldn't be saved, they couldn't find something good to do with it, is just... Again, you know, the guys that were doing the job and their rhetoric about, oh, we really tried, we want to do all this, you know, it breaks my heart to tear it down. I don't give a shit. You're destroying something beautiful that you could have saved if you really wanted to, but you had to spout off your rhetoric because you really, genuinely don't give a shit when all is said and done. So, you can see I'm a little salty right now. I'm really pissed to see, you know, it's always been, like, looming ahead. I've been on the Max, the blue line, which kind of goes through the historical place, goes within like a block or two of where the temple is, and you know, I've gone through there like two different days. I went through there, going there and coming back in the past week, and each time I looked up and I was like, it's still there, even though I heard that they'd started putting up fencing around it, which that's the first, you know, red flag that, you know, the death knell has come. So I went by and I'm like, oh, it's still there. I looked at my girlfriend like, temple's still there, and then like 2 or 3 days later someone posted a picture. I was already having a shitty day. This is a few days ago. And I went on my break at work, pulled up my phone, there was a Stop Demolishing Portland post, which I'm on that group, and if you live in Portland and you really care, join on to there. You know, you can see what's going on, you get more information, you can get more involved. It's just one way to go to do that. But anyway, went on my break. I was kind of just heated about some stuff that was going on. Not, you know, building, amateur historian related, just other stuff that was going on. And I pull it up, and one of the first things I see is a picture of the temple, and they've started ripping the roofing on the north side off, and it was like, well, it's finally happening. And I was like, well, this day just got better. So it's like, you know it's coming, but it's never not going to piss you off. I just spit so much. I'm sorry. I have so much saliva, it's ridiculous. Last time I went to a dentist, the dental assistant told me that I had a mouth like the Nile River. Because apparently I just have so much saliva. Anyway, now I'm talking about dental work. I'm just... You know, and because I can't go there, it's just so frustrating. Even though you know it's coming, you're still going to be pissed when it comes, no matter what. So, I just wanted to rant a little bit on this, somewhat beautiful morning. And again, maybe, you know, if I can get down there before they're finished ripping it up, I'm going to bring my camera with me and get whatever I can. If that happens, it'll be obviously posted to this channel not too long after this video. I'll try to get it up as soon as I can. And all that said, I just need to rant a little bit getting up out of bed. Got up on the wrong side today. But all that said, it's been the Amateur Historian, and I'll see you guys next time.